Hi there, welcome back to my channel. This is Aga. How are you? I hope that you are in a good condition. In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the most common and important job interview questions. What are your salary expectations? I will guide you through the reasoning behind this question, how to deliver a well-structured and confident response, and highlight some key mistakes to avoid. If you got something on your mind, have any questions or insights, please feel free to share them in the comment sections below. So let's get started. In today's video, I would invite you to understand why interviewers asked about your salary expectations, how to respond without pricing yourself out, how to stay flexible while remaining confident, and I'll give you some sample answers for different career levels and then about negotiation awareness and the tone. Now, if this is your first interview, this is your first job interview. Now imagine that you're facing this type of question. You know, why do interviewers ask this? First, they want to see if your expectations align with their budget. Of course, they ask you this type of question by having their own budget. They already have it. They want to align their budget with your expectation. Second one, they try to evaluate how well you've researched the industry and the role. Talking about salary, it means that you have to understand about the company, about the industry, and about the role you're going to be in. The third one, they want to assess how confident and realistic you are about your value. They want to know, can you value yourself? And then they want to identify negotiation and communication style. Because for some people, this is a kind of tricky question to answer. There's several mistakes, guys, to avoid. First, giving a fixed number too early. Talking about salary means that this is the take section, take part. When we talk about take and give, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's wrong. The true one is give and take. During the interview, you have to get focus on giving what you can offer. And after that, of course, you will get what you will get, which is salary. Okay. If you deserve that much, okay, you will get it. So at the beginning, don't give a fixed number. It's okay for you to give some range. I'll tell you later in the sample answers. The second one, stop saying, I'll take whatever you offer. Don't say that. Because what? It seems like you're not serious. You don't do any research yet. Okay. You are not realistic. What about they give you very, very low number? Will you still say, I'll take whatever you offer? No, of course not. And then after that, stop showing discomfort or nervousness. They want to know about your readiness, about your communication style. And then don't forget to avoid this one, not researching the market rate beforehand. There are several ways for you to do some market rate research. For example, by visiting some websites, or you can simply open your Google search engine and just type salary guide 2025, for example. I don't, or the latest salary guide, and then try to find your position. That's some mistakes you have to avoid. To answer this type of question, I propose an effective answer structure. You don't have to memorize every single word you're gonna say. It's okay for you to understand about the structure and then try to practice it, say it out loud, day by day, time by time, realize it or not. You'll be able to answer this type of question well. First, you have to start by showing openness and flexibility. There are some statements you can say to show your openness and flexibility. And then after that, try to follow your answer with by mentioning you've done research on the industry standard. Well, actually, the point number two here, it depends. I'll give you further explanation with the samples after this. And the third one, try to share a realistic salary range. Okay, I mentioned don't give any fixed number too early, but it's okay for you to give salary range based on the role, location, and your professional experience. And then after that, try to reaffirm your interest in the role and the company. The first point and the fourth point is quite similar in the example. Let me show you, to make you easier, let me show you some samples. Okay, now this is the example number one. I'll give you a sample. For the sample, you apply for UX designer at Google. It's okay for you to say something like this. I'm open and flexible regarding salary, and my main priority is finding a role where I can grow and contribute meaningfully. Based on my research from sources like Glassdoor and Levels.fyi, the typical range for a UX designer at Google is this location is between $100,000 and $120,000 annually. Considering my experience and skills, I believe that's a fair range to start the discussion. That said, I'm very excited about the opportunity to be part of Google's design team and will be happy to learn more about your full compensation package. This is complete answer for you that you may try to say with your own way, try to modify it with your own ways and with your confidence. But if you think that this is too long to answer this type of answer, it's okay for you to omit from this part. Just say this one. And then, okay, let me remove this one. It's okay for you to answer this type of question from here. So just say, when the interviewer asks you this type of question, just say the typical range for the UX designer at Google in this location is between blah, 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 etc. Something like that. It's okay. Or you don't have to mention about some research and sources that you do or that you read, for example. It's okay for you to remove this part, for example. This is the third version from example number one. I'm open and flexible regarding salary, and my main priority is finding a role where I can grow and contribute meaningfully. The typical range for a UX designer, blah, 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 etc. Okay, it's okay for not to mention that you've done some research. Okay, just it's information for yourself. It's okay. That's the third version. In the following samples I'm gonna give you, it's okay for you to choose one of those three. Let me give you the example number two. For example, like this. I prefer to better understand and full scope of the role and responsibilities before getting into specific numbers, but I have done some research and current market rates for a business analyst role in this industry and location. A typical salary range seems to be between 55,000 dollars and $65,000. I'm open to a conversation and would definitely consider the full benefits, learning opportunities, and long-term growth at Deloitte as part of my decision. This is the second version of the example number two. And still, it's okay for you not to mention that you've done some research. the interviewers know well whether you've done it or not. So if you want to simplify this type of answer, it's okay for you to omit this part. Just say, I prefer to better understand the full scope of the role and responsibility before getting into specific number. For a business analyst roles, just continue like that. Okay? You understand me, guys? Try to say it out loud in your own way to understand that. Are you ready enough to answer this type of question? Let me give you another sample. For example, you apply for supply chain coordinator at Nestle. You may say something like this. I am flexible on compensation and most interested in the opportunity to join a company like Nestle with a strong global presence and values I admire. Based on my research from platforms like PayScale and Glassdoor, I'd say a reasonable range for this role would be between $70,000 and $80,000 per year. I'm happy to discuss further and to learn more about the full package and what Nestle offers in terms of development and career progression. Just like what I mentioned before, that it's okay for you to remove the research part and not mentioning this part, for example. Okay. Try to answer. I'm flexible on compensation and most interested in the opportunity to join a company like Nestle with a strong global presence and value I admire. I'd say a reasonable range for this role, etc. Okay, you understand me, guys? It's okay for you whether you want to mention or not. Commonly, this type of question wouldn't be asked and too early in a job interview. So you have to see the tone, you have to see about the atmosphere, whether you want to give whether long or short answer. It's okay for you. Try to say it out loud in your own way based on your professional experience with confidence. Okay. Let me give you another sample, guys. This is sample number 4. For example, we apply for data analyst and company applying to is Spotify. Your answer will be like this. I'm open to discussing a fair salary based on responsibilities of the role and the overall compensation package. From what I found on industry benchmarks and salary data platforms, a reasonable range for a data analyst at Spotify in this region would be around $85,000 to $95,000. I'm confident we can find a number that reflects both my experience and the value I hope to bring to your data team. I'm so sorry I forgot to put, for example, here you just say per month or per year, something like that, guys. Okay. Again, if you want to remove about the research part, it's okay for you to just say this one. Okay. Just or you can replace this statement or when you want to say, I've done some research, blah, blah, blah. It's okay for you to replace with this phrase. From what I found on industry benchmarks, it's okay for you. Okay. From samples number 1 to number 3, I suggest you to omit that part, but it's okay for you to replace about I've done some research blah, 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 with this statement. I found on industry benchmarks, something like that. Don't need to say glass doors or any other, or for example, LinkedIn. Don't need to say that. It's okay. Just replace with this phrase. Let me give you other sample, guys. Here, for example, you apply for internship. It's okay for you to answer this type of question like this. As this is an internship, I understand compensation may vary. Yes, that's the reality, okay? I'm open and flexible, and for me, gaining hands-on experience and contributing to Airbus innovative engineering projects is the top priority. Guys, for you who want to take some intern, don't forget about this statement, okay? And after that, that's it. Based on internship rates in this field and region, I'd expect something in the range of 1,200 euros to 1,500 euros per month. But again, I'm open to what you offer, especially considering the learning and mentorship opportunities involved. You know what? If you understand about the example number 1 to number 5, there's some similarities, you know. What's that? You definitely give some range, not fixed number. And after that, before and after you mention the range or the number, you reassure, you give some statements that show you are not only looking for the number, because the number is about what you deserve to get after giving some contribution that you offer. You understand me? Okay. So it's okay for you to try by yourself. Say out loud in your own way with confidence and try to give a strong answer, to build a strong answer. Give the number as a range in the middle of your statements before and after mentioning the salary range you propose. There will be some statements to show that you're coming not only for the money, but there's something you want to give about mutual benefits, about you can offer, about the benefit they will get after choose you as the best person to fill the opening position. You understand me? Okay. So now let me give you bonus tips for a great answer. First, again and again, don't forget to do some research average salaries on platforms like Glassdoor or PayScale, or try to find it through Google search engine. Try to type salary guide 2025, salary guide 2026, for example, like this. And after that, don't forget to practice saying your range with calm confidence. You know why? Because it's easy for you to understand by watching this video. But in the real job interview question, maybe you're gonna be you'll get some nervous thing. Okay. You're gonna be nervous. So keep practicing. And after that, you have to consider your minimum acceptable number beforehand. Because why? Because sometimes they will say, I'm so sorry, our budget is in the range between blah, 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 and blah, 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 for example. Like that. And it's okay for you not to answer about their feedback at that time. Try them, whether you get several times, just like sleep on it first before you give your decision. And then after that, my next tip is try to think beyond salary. You have to understand, you have to see something beyond salary. I called it as a whole package of compensation and benefits, like opportunity to growth, about flexibility, about opportunity to blah, 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 for example, like that. Okay. It's more than just number that the company can give you, guys. Okay, then next one. If asked early about this salary, say you'd prefer to discuss once you know more about the role. Okay. Stop talking too much about number when you don't know about the detailed role. You have to understand about the detailed role. That's all. And I try to keep practicing Say it out loud with your own version based on your professional experience and, of course, with confidence. Well, that's all for today. Thank you very much. I hope this was useful for you. And if you got some questions or want to chat more about this topic, please feel free to drop some comments below this video. And it's okay for you to reach me out via my social media or email here. I display here. Well, that's all for today. See you in the next video. Thank you and bye-bye.